When most people hear the phrase "the devil wrote this song," they think of some dark melody, something creepy or strange, something obviously wrong. But that's not how it works. The most dangerous songs aren't the loud ones. They're the quiet ones, the ones you don't even realize you're singing, the ones you hum without thinking, the ones that blend into the background of your everyday life until they feel normal. The devil's favorite songs are not rock concerts. They're whispered lies that sound like truth, words that feel familiar, thoughts that feel like your own. And many Christians in America are singing them every day without even realizing where the lyrics came from. It's not a literal song. It's a mindset, a phrase, a belief, a rhythm of thoughts that repeats over and over again until it becomes part of your identity. The enemy doesn't need you to blast rebellion from a speaker. He just needs you to agree with the wrong narrative. He doesn't need you to raise your hands to darkness. He just needs your agreement with defeat, fear, inferiority, shame, or hopelessness. He doesn't need your worship. He just needs your voice repeating his lyrics. And here's the hard truth. Many Christian believers in our churches today, good people, sincere people, people who love God, are unknowingly singing the same song the enemy wrote. A song with lyrics like "I'm not enough. Nothing will ever change. I'll always struggle. I'm too broken. God probably forgot me. I'll never be free. It's just the way life is." These lyrics don't come with guitar riffs or drum beats. They come through your thoughts, your self-talk, your internal soundtrack. But before you judge yourself, pause for a moment and breathe. Everyone has done it. Every believer, at some point, has repeated a lie because it felt familiar. Every one of us has borrowed lyrics from a defeated script instead of God's truth. The enemy is subtle. He doesn't hand you a songbook labeled destruction. He hands you familiar phrases like "be realistic," "don't get your hopes up," "who do you think you are?" He hands you the same lines someone spoke over you years ago. He slips them into your thinking and waits for you to start humming along. The danger isn't that the lyrics exist. The danger is when we start to sing them as if they belong to us. When you repeat a lie long enough, it begins to feel like your voice. And when Christians begin to sing the enemy's lyrics in the house of God, songs of small thinking, fear, worrying, shame, inferiority, they drown out the truth God has spoken over them. They stand in worship with hands lifted but minds repeating lyrics of defeat. But today, something shifts. Today, the music changes. Today, God gives you a new song. A song of strength, a song of identity, a song of victory, a song of freedom, a song that sounds like heaven, not hell. A song that lifts you, not breaks you. A song that renews your mind instead of draining your joy. Today, we break the agreement with the old soundtrack. Let's talk about the first devil-written lyric Christians often sing. "I'm not enough." This is one of the most played tracks in the enemy's playlist. It's whispered into the minds of men and women, young adults and seniors, believers and leaders. But the truth is, this lyric isn't just wrong, it's toxic. God never asked you to be enough. He asked you to be available. He never called you because of your perfection. He called you because of his purpose. When you say "I'm not enough," you're measuring yourself by human standards instead of divine calling. You're echoing the devil's lyric instead of God's truth. The devil says you're not enough. God says you're chosen. Then there's the lyric, "Nothing will ever change." This one is a national anthem of discouragement in America right now. People repeat it in their homes, in their offices, in their cars. It sounds like realism, but it's actually resignation. The enemy loves to convince you that your future is locked, sealed, and unchangeable. But nothing could be further from God's character. God is the one who brings water from rocks, life from graves, hope from ruins, and miracles out of ordinary days. The devil says nothing will change. God says, "Behold, I make all things new." Another lyric Christians sing without Knowing is I'll always struggle. This one comes from experiences, from childhood wounds, from failures that left scars. But hear me, your struggle is not your identity. Your battle is not your name. Your past is not your prophecy. If you've been singing this lyric, today is the day you lay it down. Yes, we all face struggles, but permanent struggle is not God's plan for your life. There is victory assigned to you. There is healing assigned to you. There is strength assigned to you. The devil says you'll always struggle. God says you're more than a conqueror. Then there's the lyric, God probably forgot me. This one is quiet but brutal. It creeps into your heart when prayers take longer than expected. When the waiting feels endless, when everyone else seems blessed while you're still believing. But listen carefully. God doesn't forget his children. Not the loud ones, not the quiet ones, not the ones who feel invisible. God works behind the scenes, in the details, in the silent places where your eyes can't see. The enemy wants you to believe you're forgotten, so you stop expecting. He wants you silent so your faith doesn't activate anything. The devil says God forgot you. God says, I know the plans I have for you. Another lyric that Christians repeat without realizing its sources. This is just the way I am. It sounds harmless, but it's actually a cage. The enemy loves when you believe you are trapped in your old patterns, your inherited habits, your generational baggage. But God's whole mission in your life is transformation. You are never called to stay the same. God is committed to your growth. So when you say, this is just the way I am, you're agreeing with the enemy's lie that you are unchangeable. The truth is, you are becoming someone new every day through God's work in you. Then there's the most dangerous lyric of all. I'll settle. This one breaks futures. This one steals purpose. This one silences destiny. When you settle for a less love, less faith, less joy, less purpose, you're singing the enemy's chorus. God didn't create you to settle. He created you to rise, to lead, to walk in purpose, to impact your world. Settling is the soundtrack of a life lived below its calling. The devil says settle. God says stretch. Now let's talk about the subtle version of the same song. The lyric that goes, I don't deserve anything good. This one is wrapped in shame, wrapped in old mistakes, wrapped in guilt. But grace doesn't depend on deserving. Grace depends on God. When you say you don't deserve anything good, you're rejecting the very heart of the gospel. God gives good because he is good, not because you are perfect. The enemy says you're unworthy. God says you're forgiven and loved. Then there's the lyric, I have to figure everything out on my own. This is one of the enemy's favorite songs in America. Independence is celebrated, but isolation is deadly. God never called you to carry life alone. He called you to walk with him, to lean on him, to depend on his guidance. You don't have to figure out every step. You just have to follow his voice. The devil says you're alone. God says I am with you always. Finally, there's the lyric, my best days are behind me. The enemy loves to convince you that you've already peaked, that your mistakes disqualified you, that your window is closed. But God is the God of new beginnings, new seasons, new anointings, new strategies, new breakthroughs. Your best days are not behind you, they're in front of you. God saves the best for last. So how do you stop singing the enemy's song? You replace it. You choose a new soundtrack. You fill your mind with God's lyrics. Lyrics like I can do all things through Christ. Lyrics like no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Lyrics like greater is he who is in me. Lyrics like God is for me, not against me. Lyrics like I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Lyrics like the Lord is my shepherd. Lyrics like goodness and mercy follow me. Lyrics like God works all things together for my good. You can't silence a song by fighting it. You silence it by replacing it. You overpower it with truth. You drown it out with faith. You shift the station in your heart. You elevate your internal playlist. Every day you wake up, you choose your soundtrack. You choose whose lyrics you repeat. You choose what voice you amplify. The enemy is hoping you never notice his songs. He's hoping you keep repeating them without thinking. But today, awareness breaks the power. Today, you choose God's song. Today, you choose truth over lies. Today, you refuse to sing the devil's lyrics one more time. Say this out loud. I choose God's voice. I reject every lie. I break agreement with the enemy's song. I am who God says I am. I will not sing defeat. I will not repeat fear. I will not echo shame. My life has purpose. My future has promise. My heart has strength. My mind has clarity. And my voice will sing truth. Your life changes when your lyrics change. Your future shifts when your self-talk shifts. The devil wrote a song, but you don't have to sing it. You have a new melody now. A melody of purpose. A melody of hope. A melody of identity. A melody of victory. A melody written by God Himself. And today, the soundtrack of your life changes.